Hey guys, so it's been a while. Um, I will just wait for a few people to connect. It's going to be about Messi. It's going to be about, um, you know, let me put here on Twitter, talking the end of the season, Messi and the Super League, which I didn't have talking before. So thanks for who's here. So yeah, first of all, I thank you for the people who, I haven't been really commenting about FC Barcelona. I have, been away for most of the time. I have talked here before. The political situation here in Brazil is dire. If you are vaccinated, I am really happy for you and your family. Here in Brazil, we have a fascist who has decided not to purchase vaccines in several occasions. So we have more than 420,000 people dead already. And, it's a mess. The police keeps killing black people everywhere. Just yesterday, they executed 25 more people. So I have been working, communicating and studying these social issues here in Brazil. So that's why FC Barcelona has been a little bit low on my priorities. But yeah, but lots of stuff has happened since I last talked about FC Barcelona here on my channel, on Twitter, and all. And I will talk about the Super League and the end of the season, but my main object of talk is reflecting back on Messi's last seasons, especially after 2015. So that will be the main talking point. I will start by talking about tomorrow's match with Atletico Madrid. um, I know people have the right to be tired with our team. I myself do not trust Koeman at all. I do not believe him. I think he's a flawed coach, but it's the one we have right now. It's the squad we have right now, and the possibility to win a Liga title, especially with everything that has been going on, with the elections, with the poor squad. Jordi Pasquale is here. I'm gonna send him a link to be here with me if he wants to. And yeah, I myself, I must be honest with you guys, I haven't been really watching FC Barcelona matches live. I catch the highlights, the bigger matches I download and watch them later. So I have been a bit, let me, here, Jordi. Let me send the link to Jordi if he wants to come. If you want to join, feel free. Yeah, so the match tomorrow, I have no idea what will happen. I think with what we have seen with Koeman regarding the big matches, I'm talking the Champions League, I'm talking especially the Real Madrid matches. We see that this scheme, every time we open up with a 3-5-2 or something like that, we start in relying more on the wings. And even though we have a more revived midfield with Pedri and the younger people, and this formation helps Busquets a little bit, we still suffer. So I have no idea what will happen tomorrow. I have no idea how Atletico is doing. This, the peak Lucas time of with Twitter from 2011 to 2016 is long gone. But what I do know is Messi is really, really excited. Messi is motivated. Messi is, scoring. My friend Oscar is here. Good to see you, my friend. And I think for someone who has literally started this season by formally informing the club that he wanted to leave, and here we're talking about Messi, the best player of all time, the best player in the history of FC Barcelona, the holder of all remain uh, uh, all the records that matter. Messi has it. He has the most matches, the most goals, the most assists, the most titles, obviously. So to have us begin, uh, hey Jelani, my good friend, good to see my good friends here. Yeah, so for us to have started this season with Messi with this mindset, that he is tired of the FC Barcelona management, he's tired of Bartomeu, obviously, with all the mafia and all the dirtiness that goes around our club, which we know, and with the press always being on the side of the powerful people that are there. I think for us to finish a season with still the possibility, even though Koeman has tried many times to lose this league, to be able to win it. From what I could tell, if we win tomorrow, it's pretty much over if we manage to, win every single match. So I think the fact that we have a Messi that is scoring more often than he has been able to. We have a Messi who has been, uh, as usual, being the leader that he is and showing that that's why he is the player that we know and love. To be able to feel re-energized again, playing with the likes of Pedri, and obviously Jelani is going to beat me up, but obviously the young and Busquets with this, a new system that helps him, and the new blood back in the back line with Araujo, and everything has been really on the human side really interesting to follow. So I mean, I have been stuck at home. I have been looking at these walls here for 14 months now. My wife has a few COVID comorbidities, so which means I won't risk myself. I handle really close with my grandmother. Obviously, she can't as well. So for me to be following the human side, the emotional side of these players of this team has been good, because it's been a tough year. And to see that these guys, this core group of players are still competing, doesn't matter if the coaches will fail them at the Champions League, the coaches plus the planning who has given us a poor to unbalanced squad. It's really good to see the likes of Alba, which I know people have all the right to be mad at him, but he's having a great season. Piqué with his antics and everything. So I think it's been a really interesting FC Barcelona season. I just Koeman for me is just, I know he's a club legend, an actual club legend, instead of trying to force a Valverde connection with Barcelona, which has never really happened. Um, but to me, it's just another mediocre coach who obviously will have a great advantage with a functioning team in La Liga. Messi will take you all the way. And if after this period with COVID-19, the craziness that is for us to watch football with no audience, it's insane. So yes, I'm getting to the Super League. That's why I'm talking to the business side. This craziness that is, we are following a sport that is built around communities, that is built around, the fans and these feelings. We are watching these empty stadiums in that post-apocalyptic grotesqueness that is the audios, the effects that they create to make us think that we are watching a normal football match. And obviously, Diego Maradona's passing I think every one of us who lost football, who got the time to understand Diego's career and remove the garbage and all the attacks that he has received from the media around the world, in Argentina, especially in Barcelona, in Italy, and in the English media, obviously. So I think it's really been a tough year for everyone who, has had to deal with this pandemic, which has been the whole world. But obviously, there are people who, weren't assholes and weren't walking around with no mask on, or, making parties here in Brazil, even with 420,000 deaths. People are still doing whatever the fuck they want. Um, so for us to have the possibility of lifting a Liga title, even after another Champions League debacle, we never, I think no one seriously thought that Koeman with this team on this scenario would be able to bring the Champions League home. If we didn't do it in uh, 1819, which was the time Liverpool knocked us out with that after that Messi master case in the Camp Nou. We were not going to do it this season. So to be able to finish it with a Liga title, I think we should be really happy. Obviously, it is a happiness that has the backing of us having Laporta back. I'm not a Laporta fan. I know he has his real several flaws, but it's about the small changes, like after almost a decade, having someone from FC Barcelona representing the club's interests in the federation. So when this nonsensical thing that happened to Koeman, or this crazy, oh no, we're gonna try to persecute Messi and the players for holding a gathering when the law in Spain saying that you can do it for 5,000 people. Hey David, how are you? So I think a victory tomorrow, and obviously I think that Real Madrid has to drop points for us to be able to win, which is feasible considering that the state they're in. I think it will be really good. Xavi Torres, which is a reporter from Catalunya Radio, he is really really reliable when it comes to news. He isn't like that fat guy, which we know who we are talking about, Romero. He doesn't live off, talking about transfers like Romero does. Xavi Torres is a serious journalist. He's the one who first broke that the British, for instance, he's the one who broke that the English clubs were yeah, Jelani understood the joke. So he was one of the first ones to break that the English clubs were dropping out of the Super League, and he was the first one to break the Suarez signing. He's really close to Cruyff. He was close to Cruyff. He's close to Laporta. He has said that it most likely will be that scenario that we saw. Messi will sign a 10-year contract, 2 years as a player, then he wants to go to the MLS, to the United States, which I think it's a choice. I think it's Argenia, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. I think it's a choice. I think he deserves to go there. I don't think the American empire deserves to enjoy Messi, but the American people, the American workers, most of them have no fault at that. So they get to enjoy him. And I think it's closer to me here in Brazil to watch Messi in the States than it is in Europe. But I'll be going there soon in the Camp Nou as soon as the vaccine is available for me, when the fascists starts buying them again. So yeah, I think it's the possibility of this season. It's ending with a Liga title is huge. Obviously, I'm one for not renewing Koeman even if he wins La Liga. Let me take a sip of water. But if he wins La Liga, I think it's going to be really politically difficult for Laporta to sack him. But let's see. Let's wait for the results and before the politics and the replacement. But regarding the ugly side of football, before I get to my main talking point tonight, which is, Messi over the last decade, the Super League. I swear to you guys that I really thought about um, 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 let me see where Jordi is. Jordi wants to come in. Jordi, let me put Jordi in. Jordi will join me in a few moments. So the Super League, I really thought about recording a live stream about the whole craziness of the Super League. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I was really quiet regarding that. But it's about power, okay? We weren't saved by UEFA. The fascists from La Liga. He didn't save Spanish football by acting like they did by threatening to ban Real Madrid and Barcelona from the league. Um, does anyone really think that these people, that UEFA, that La Liga, that the Spanish Federation, that the English Federation can afford to keep their leagues and their competitions without the biggest teams in Europe? I think it's nonsensical. Obviously, what we did see was uh, the clubs coming together, and here I'm talking the clubs, but I'm meaning the one of the biggest sporting companies in Europe, if you want to see it that way. These companies, these big clubs that are making more than €1 billion each year, or close to that, the median, most of them. They came together to organize a competition amongst themselves, where they have guaranteed slots, which means guaranteed paying. The payment would be the same. And but what really interested me, and I did record a live stream in Portuguese in my Instagram account, which is about politics mostly here in Brazil. What really shocked me about the Super League is that we have been hearing about this for 10 years. Uh, these people, Florentino Perez and everyone that he got around himself to build this thing, even Bartomeu was heavily involved from what I read after the debacle. They had 10 years to prepare. And we know Florentino Perez. Florentino Perez is one of the richest people in Spain. He got the Spanish state to pay €1 billion from this money from the Spanish citizens to as payment for something that he did, something destructive regarding mining, something like that around Madrid. And these people, with 10 years to plan, they were really naive. Because when you're talking about power, when you're talking about, a change of management, which means a change of the flow of money, you have to have things lined up with judges, with politicians, with influential people. And Florentino Perez knows this stuff. The people, this Agnelli person, Agnelli, the Juventus president, he literally belongs to the same family that was giving money to Mussolini back in the 1920s and the 1930s. I mean, this is old money. This is old blood. This is people who are used to power, even though they have actively used fascism to achieve it and to keep it. They use it, and for them to come up together in the middle of the pandemic, where lots of football fans were not understanding why we are watching matches, why are we playing football while people are dying. In And I do understand the other argument that football has, helped us mentally, and it's, for me, it's art. It's something that takes our mind away from stuff. They announced it and they got squashed. They got squashed. And please, I'm a football fan. I love the sport. I understand its, a working class nature. I'm a socialist. Ah, I understand that the fans, I will never defend the Super League, but to think that what happened was a resistance from the fans, do you really think that the 20 richest clubs in the world, in Europe, they got knocked down because some people tweeted a few hashtags and they were in front of a few stadiums making noise? Come on, be serious. Come on. Obviously, what happened was UEFA, which is a part, of the European establishment, which is, and obviously all the leagues, from the biggest leagues, there are lots of people, thousands of people who live off that money, uh, money that comes from us, the fans. They got what they used their power. They showed up their institutional power by saying, no, you won't. You won't do it because they still have the judges, they still have the politicians, they still have all the other, capitalist state institutions working for them. They are part of these institutions. So obviously, even though without these clubs, the Super League founding members, these leagues and the Champions League and UEFA and the league would suffer greatly because the average fan, around the world, in Brazil, in India, in China, in Asia, in United States, whatever you are, they don't really care who is running the show. They want to see the players. They want to see the teams. They want to see the stadiums packed. So it was a disaster. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because what really seems to me like thinking, making a few conjectures, is that these people had to rush this project because of some sort of time lapse, or there was an expiration date on the money that was promised to them from the United States. They had to act fast. They put together that ridiculous logo that was pretty much made on Instagram, like a child on Instagram can make a better logo than that stupid Super League logo. And it's these small details that shows that it really was weird what happened. And what wasn't weird was the reaction from the UEFA and the leagues, the leagues from each country. Obviously, they want to hold their power. They have the institutional power, and even though from a very liberal talking point here, I don't condone or defend. Far from me. Let me take another sip. Because if these people from the Super League were actually prepared, they would have not only the judges and the politicians and the powerful people ready, but they would have the legal argument that what is happening is the freedom for companies, for clubs to organize amongst themselves to host a competition. So it would be a question of freedom of market so it would be on the basis of capitalism. And obviously this crazy stuff that was going on, that the players from the teams in the Super League would be forbidden to play in the Euros, for playing for their national teams, for playing for the World Cup. It would not happen. It would not happen. Hey, Pranay. Yeah, man, keep strong. I know about Modi there and the fascism and how bad COVID is over there. So good health and patience for you and for your family. It's really tough. So it was really a hostile takeover that wasn't planned, that was rushed, and they got crushed. So I'm talking about this today, not only because I haven't talked before, but because I saw that UEFA will try to, they say they will punish the clubs and etc. Blah, blah, blah. I think if they do, it really won't affect Barcelona. I think Laporta even got a few compliments from Seferin regarding that. That he got the project after it was ongoing. That he has been elected very recently. But I think the two remaining people behind the Super League project, which is Florentino Perez, which is a mobster, a billionaire, someone who came from a middle class family to become a multi-billionaire by dealing with the powerful, by being close to the people who matter in Spain, and Agnelli, as I said, someone who literally is on the bloodline from people who financed Mussolini, which is what Fiat and all the other big companies, because fascism is the emergency button that the capitalists press on when there's a possibility of the people rising up. That these two people are the main architects still behind the project, I think it says a lot, right? That it's people that they know the power they have regarding the players and the names, you know, Juventus, Real Madrid, the biggest clubs in their countries, whatever. But they're past with fascism, and you know how these people came to power and how they remain in power is really interesting. So yeah, about the Super League is that. Oh yeah, they did punish them. 15 million from each club as a goodwill, which will go to charity. Juve, Barca, and Madrid might get banned because they're still part of Super League. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, thank you, Pranay, and people who are watching again, thank you. I know I have been away from a long time. If you wanna send talking points or questions, feel free. Yeah, anyone thinks that a Champions League without Real Madrid and Barcelona, a Champions League without Messi, doesn't suffer, doesn't lose money, doesn't lose value, if you want to talk about it. So I think what we will watch is something that will be applied to so forth, and then there will be a little giving, especially from us at Barcelona, and it will be dead in the water once more. But enough about the Super League. I really don't care what these people do. I want to talk about something that has come into my mind recently. Let me see, Davi Sierra. How true is it that the other clubs are technically not out until they pay the buyout clause? David, I think regarding the contract, yeah, I think you're referring to the Super League contract. I think it's going to be an internal fight amongst the clubs, but I think I think it will depend more if the clubs have received any money from the backers who were people from big bands from the United States, right? Because I mean, you have all the legal arguments, all the possibilities to say, yes, we were a part of the project, we signed on, but the institutions, the fans, and whatnot, they were against. So I really don't think that the people who were the authors of this debacle, of this really the biggest defeat I have seen from Florentino Perez, you know, because the 5-0, he wasn't the president, I think, the meeting we gave them at the Bernabeu. I don't think this contract will be really a matter because they will just stall. It will be something automatic. Ata Nazir asking me about who should replace Kuman. It's the same subject I have been talking about for 8 years, people, 9 years now. I think when we have time and time again saying that we need a coach who is a Cruyffist, who believes in Cruyff, there's this part which there aren't many of them in the world available, and the second part is that this person needs an environment, needs a management, needs a squad where he is able to put this stuff on practice. Obviously, most of the coaches that we got since left took over, since Pep left, they didn't fit the profile. There were a bit, some people that were close to it, but the destruction of FC Barcelona, that Rossell, Bartomeu, and the Catalan media, especially Mundo Deportivo, but Sport as well, the destruction that they made turn their job impossible. Because, as I was saying in the beginning of this live stream here, um, Messi is someone who is so unique. He is literally the best player in the history of this sport, which is the most famous sport in the world. Someone who has obliterated every single record. And here I'm getting to my main point, which is the meritocracy. Messi was winning ligas by himself, if obviously the people were helping, but the contribution of Messi, the craziness, the clutchness of Messi, if you will, during these last 8 years has been insane. I mean, every single season, we will be competing for the title. He will be competing for the Pichichi, for the top scorer. So when we have Messi and we have this coaches who are competent enough, or at least people think they're competent enough, because when the defeat at PSG and then at Real Madrid happened, I obviously went online to say the obvious that I have been saying for many years. And then it appeared out of nowhere a stream of random French FC Barcelona fans attacking me for attacking Koeman. And even though I don't understand their language, they were saying how many months he had remained unbeaten before that. And I ask the 20 people who are here with me, and thank you again for being here. Which FC Barcelona coach in the last 8 years hasn't constructed several months of being unbeaten? All of them did it. This isn't special. You're doing it with Messi. We're doing it still with unbalanced and poorly built squads. You're still doing it with, a few of the best players in Europe besides Messi. So that isn't a talking point. What really matters is how this period happens, especially the titles, the quality of play. So and here I get to the main talking point of this live stream. Let me take another sip. Jordi, my friend, you told me that you were trying to get in. I just wanted to tell you that I sent you the StreamYard link on your WhatsApp. I don't think you were able to connect because you never got in the backstage here. If you try again and show up here, I will add you instantly, okay? So yeah, guys, I will get a little bit political, but not much because I know it's Friday and I don't want to, ba in your ear. But pretty much, I think all of you who are here are used to or listen to the concept of meritocracy, which is that if you try enough, study hard enough, work hard enough, don't sleep, do your best to succeed in a business or whatever you do, you will reach success. Yeah? I think this concept, the liberals like to spread it. I think it's common sense by now. The concept of meritocracy. Me as a socialist, me as someone who studies this kind of subjects, I can tell you that it doesn't matter how hard you try. Jordi is here. Hey, my friend. Jordi, I can't talk.
Bon ami, good evening.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
What a minute. What a minute.
No. I want to. Okay. He's coming back. So meritocracy is that, right? If you work hard enough, if you study, if you don't sleep, you're going to be successful in life. Okay. So let's take the fact that we have witnessed, all of us here, for over 10 years, the career of the best player of all time in the most popular sport in the world. Okay, Messi can do anything. He is the biggest goal scorer in this period. He is the biggest assist giver in this period. He won the most titles. He did everything that we did. Jordi is back here again, and try to speak, my friend. Let me see.
Good evening. Bon ami.
Bon
How
ami,
is everything? How is everything?
It's good. I'm sorry I invited you in the last minute, but this was me just being tired and wanting to see you guys.
No worries.
Um, so before I do my thing about Messi, uh, what do you think about tomorrow, my friend? You that I know are watching the games and following, Koeman and a little bit of Atletico Madrid. What are your feelings?
Honestly, I think we are going to win. Honestly, yes. I think right now, playing whatever we are playing now, players are as we say in Spanish, enchufados. They are unplugged. They are plugged in. They are with the mind on the match, with the mind on the league, with all these things. So I think Barcelona can do a lot of things tomorrow, and of course they can win. Barca can win tomorrow the match without any, not without any problems. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, but sure, Barca can win tomorrow the game. There is no doubt about it. If there is 6 months ago, I can say, okay, let's talk about cinema or movies or music or whatever, but not talk about football match. But for tomorrow, I can see the match is not going to be easy for sure. But sure, Barca has a lot of chances to win the match, and I think Barca is going to win tomorrow.
Yeah, man. If you say it, I believe you. I myself will watch. I think I owe it to Messi. I think I owe it to myself, who has spent so many hours following this club because it's been tough here overall to focus on football. But I agree with you. I'm ignorant about Atletico Madrid. What do you think would be their, dangers? They focus? Do they have anyone who's, brilliant at this moment, or do you think they are downhill as usually happens with them every single season?
I will answer your question with another question, which means how many matches of Atletico Madrid have you seen in the last 10 years or 5 years? When Simeone is the manager? No, no. How many matches did you watch of Atletico?
Really, I think the last
I mean,
match I watched, obviously, I never watched him by himself. I watched Atletico Madrid Barcelona. The last one I watched, remember that one where Messi scored that free kick goal
no, no,
and
but
we won the league?
yeah. What I mean is, have you ever watched Simeone playing different?
No.
So I bet 100% he's going to do the same tomorrow. Putting back and waiting. Counter attacks. This is Atletico Madrid. I mean, but not with Simeone. This is Atletico Madrid style all the life of Atletico Madrid. I do remember watching football when I was 10 years old. So that means more than 40 years ago. And Atletico Madrid was a counter-attack team.
with
And
Luis,
which,
with Luis as coach.
huh?
With
Sorry?
Luis as
Yeah,
coach.
yeah, yeah. No, no, even before Luis, when Luis was a player, when Luis was a player. So I'm talking about the early 70s and so on.
Yes, they played the
So
Champions League final, yeah?
yeah, against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
For 0-0, and then was the replay match 4-0. They lost. I do remember watching this match because it's that was in 1974, and it was when Barcelona won the league with Joachim Cruyff.
Yeah.
After 14 years without winning the league, we won the league in that was 1974, and then the next year we have the semi-final against Leeds United,
Yeah.
that we lost 2-1 in Ellen Road, and then it was 1-1 in Barcelona. But anyway, that is what I mean. Atletico Madrid at that time was playing that way, counter attack, good defending, counter attack. So no matter Luis came later, whoever, Radomir Antic, and everybody has been there as a manager in Atletico Madrid, and they are always playing the same way. So Simeone is now 8 years, 9 years in Atletico Madrid, something like
I think
this.
so. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
they are always playing the same way. So I don't think he's going to change tomorrow.
Listen, I know that you were coach for people who are here watching and don't know Jordi. Jordi is my big Paul. He's a coach from Andorra. He is a Catalan, I think. Sorry, he's a Cule put together all his years, following and working, paying attention. And the first, I think the first Atletico Madrid Barcelona match. What did you think? How Koeman played them? Because Koeman started the season, so they played him the first time. I don't remember the result, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I suppose it was so bad. I don't remember. I can check it, but I don't remember the score. But anyway, which means what the hell are we playing now? What are we doing with this club, with this team? What is happening? So when people is saying Koeman must be next year, and I say no, 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 never, ever, ever, ever. If if we want to play this Cruyff style and similar, if we want to play another thing, okay, Koeman is a good guy. He's learning a lot. I have to be honest. He's learning a lot. He has started with the famous 1-4-2-3-1. He moved it. Now he's playing with three center backs, which I hate more than the previous 1-2-3-4. But anyway, he's getting good results. There is no doubt about this. The players seems happy. The results are coming. Messi is on fire again. 26 goals. 26 goals. So, and it's not about okay. Okay. Lewandowski is going to be a Ballon d'Or, the maximum top
Golden
scorer
boot,
in
golden boot,
Golden Boot.
European
Exactly,
golden
Golden
boot.
Boot. The Golden Boot in Europe, Lewandowski. It seems you never know. You never know with Messi. You never know with Messi what can happen. But anyway, it seems so. But anyway, Messi started like this, blah, 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 and that's boom, 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 boom. So Messi has grown a lot together with the team, or the team has grown a lot together with Messi. We have to be honest about this. It's true. We can like it or not. We can like it more how we play. We can like it less. But obviously, this team, in some aspect, is more reliable right now than some months ago. There is no doubt about this. And that's what I said before. I think Barca can win the match. I mean, and I think it's a favorite for winning the match tomorrow.
Yeah, my friend. I think, as you said, regarding Simeone, I checked the results. So sorry for who's watching. We lost 1-0 to Atletico
1-0.
Madrid, and I
Yeah,
think the date was November 21st.
yeah.
On the first match, obviously on their stadium, but empty, the pandemic. And yeah, I think I agree with you when you said that Koeman is learning. Yeah, because I also don't like a tree in the back, as I started saying every time we go a little bit in a formation that is a bit wider. We stop creating and how can I say, the thing stops revolving around the middle and the creation, and we always are on the wings, right, Jordi? I think it's the same. We saw the same with Lucho back in
Yeah,
14,
quite
15.
similar. True.
So the Koeman is doing a little bit similar. Obviously, Pedri, who shouldn't be playing 50 matches in a season with 18 years old, but that's about planning. That's about building a squad. That has I've been saying since the beginning of the stream.
And he's doing very well.
And he's doing very well. The young is shining,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
me and Jordi have been spent hours on Twitter defending Busquets, because every time we have a shit coach who come up with some bullshit thing, and we start this connection, the hub of the thinking of the creation isn't at the midfield. Busquets will suffer because he is precisely tactical and technical. He isn't physical. So if you want Kante, it's not FC Barcelona. It's not Busquets. Busquets is a
Ante,
frail.
Essien, Casemiro, and so on.
Yes,
It,
it's a different type of player.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think is as you said. It's in the end what we were expecting to see Ansu Fati, which is the similar age with Pedri, to be with
Mhm.
Messi and really attacking. It's really what happens most of the time, or at least really frequently, with young players when they are doing the transition to professional Right, Jordi? Talk me about this because I know you coach young people, and I pointed this out when the season began. Look, I love Ansu Fati. I love when we are relying on these kids. We are trusting them, but we cannot actually rely. We cannot depend on these young people because it will fuck them up. It will be a problem with them because of
Yes,
everything. So tell me,
yes, yes, and no. I mean, Koeman is Dutch, which
man.
means in this aspect, Dutch managers, Dutch football, they trust a lot in young players. It's the same like people from the Balkans, Croatian, Serbian, similar. A young player is good. Go on the pitch and show it. No matter you're 16, 17, you're good enough. You want to break the door. You want to break everything. You want to be there. Go, show it. And so this is a good thing. We can argue a lot about if, for example, Elias deserves more than Ricky and Ricky deserves more. That's not the point. That no, that's not the point. But what I mean, okay, because the circumstances, because whatever it happens, they are Pedri, Trincao is from a lot to almost nothing. Uh, we have Elias playing a lot. We have Araujo. We have Mingueza. A lot of young players they are playing right now, right? And this is a good thing. This is a good thing. As I said, maybe the circumstances, maybe whatever, but they are playing, and these players are getting a lot of experience. When next year or in a couple of years, they have to be the ones that when Messi is not here, which is maybe next year, maybe two, maybe three. Even he continues here, he's going to retire one of these days. Maybe when he's 40, I hope. but anyway, but anyway, these players are the one that have to be the ones who manage the team on the pitch. So it's good for them now to have a lot of minutes and good and quality minutes to play. This is very good. We are lucky sometimes because, for example, Mingueza was not started at Barça B. He was not started at Barça B, and he arrived at the first team. Bam! Wow, it's good. Pedri is someone that came from the Canary Islands. Even myself, Pedri. Who is this Pedri? Wow, what a very good player. Ansu Fati, we knew him from Barça B, and then we have some other players. Elias is something we knew a little bit from Barça B also. Now we have a lot of good players like Nico, like Jandro, like Collado, and so on, like the goalkeepers, Iñaki Peña, Arnau Tenas. We have a lot of very good players that they only need someone that trusts them and put them to play. That's the important thing. So to come back to what we're talking, let's see what's on. Obviously, as I said, Koeman is a manager who, as the way of playing, I don't agree at all. Absolutely not. This is not Cruyff at any moment. This is not Cruyff at any moment. It's farther as possible from Cruyff as it can be. It's closer to Luis Enrique, closer to Valverde sometimes. It's closer to I don't know what, but
I
not Cruyff.
think it's the structure of Italian football with this little seasoning of Dutch, as you said, with the youth and a bit of the build-up movements, right? With trying from the back and etc. But I think when I see 3-5-2, I just start remember Italy, the 80s, and I get a bit. I know
Well,
we have seen this before.
Italy, the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, and whatever. Italy, Italy is first catenaccio, and then we'll see what's happening. and and
Yes,
and Koeman is playing that way. Okay, sorry. As what I said, we want maybe he won the cup. Great match against Athletic Bilbao. No way, no doubt about this. He's now he has the chance to win the league. If we win tomorrow, we have a lot of chances. So okay, he can get a double. Maybe ask himself he doesn't deserve it. So ask himself, not as a club, not as a team or whatever. Ask Koeman himself. I think he doesn't deserve it.
I agree.
It's too much honor for him. Honor mean hour. No, no, not the honor of winning. If not too much hour for him to win two competitions with Barca. Because if he was the manager of Albacete or Zaragoza or something like this, and he wants to play that way, and he wins the league and the cup, hats off, hats off. But you at Barca, you have Messi, you have Busquets, you have Piqué, you have a lot of football stars. You have Griezmann, you have Dembele, you have a. I remember someone called Pjanic. Do you remember? Where's
Hey,
Pjanic?
Pjanic. Hey, Pjanic is Pjanic in 2021 is Arda Turan in 2016. It's
Oh
the
my God.
same sign.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Pjanic. The,
Listen, I think if all the crazy shit we saw with the shady Brazilian signings and Douglas and those random Brazilian kids for Barca B, I think even though I understand the feelings around Arthur, and remember, he's someone from my hometown, he's someone from the place where I'm live streaming right now. To sell Arthur to remain with to keep Pjanic, I think it's but I mean, these are the people who once more. Jordi, do you think Laporta will buy Neymar?
not in the actual conditions, which means, and it's what I think. I mean, if Neymar wants to come back, the first thing is all the trials he has against the club out. That's the first point. The second point is, like it or not, Neymar is 30 years old.
Yes.
He's 29. He's going to be 30 next year. Uh, he's not the young kid that came when he was 21 or something like this. Which okay, he's 2021, and then wow, it's quite different. Now he's 29. So it means it's not the same. I mean, you cannot, not Neymar, whoever, you cannot come at 30 to a club like Barca, and you can say Barca, Madrid, Liverpool, one of these top clubs, and pretending to be the best player in the world at this age. With all due respect, of course, Neymar is a great player, no doubt about it. But I think he was clever enough when he came here. Rosell
More than
saw him.
clever. More
No, no,
than
no, also,
clever.
no, no, but no, no, yes, this also, obviously, obviously, money is another point. But what I mean is, I do remember when he came here and he was 21, something like this, or 23, and he came here because Rosell promised him to sell Messi, and you're going to be the number one, and you're going to be the top player in the world, blah 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 blah. And Neymar arrived in Barcelona, and he was, when I said clever enough, he was clever enough to see, wow, this guy Messi is really good. So it's much better to play with him than to play against him. So the society Neymar Messi was excellent on the pitch, was excellent. Farther than, you know, Neymar's sister's birthday and so on, and all these kind of things
Every year. Every
every
year.
year. And he's doing the same now at PSG. So
Yes, he
okay,
never
I
stops.
understand. I understand. He loves his sister, so and the birthday of the sister. But anyway, more than these jokes apart, uh, he did excellent, and he understood that he must play with Messi and not against Messi, and he did it very very well. So if he can come back once all these trials and all these things are off, that's the first point for me. Obviously, if he's because the trials are not against Bartomeu and Rosell, the trials are against FC Barcelona, against the club.
Yes.
So the first thing, okay, all these trials out, we will talk. I mean, me, Laporta, you, Neymar, we talking, sit down on the table and let's talk about these things and let's try to arrange it. Obviously, Neymar in, Griezmann out. No doubt about it. About it, of course.
Yeah, I think it's enough, right? I think it's
No,
we've had
but
enough.
Griezmann is another similar case. They took
Yes, he came
Griezmann.
with 28, 29, right? When they
No,
signed him.
no. But more than this, at 27, close to 28. But more than this, he also came with Griezmann plays in the same in the same position as Messi plays. So and Messi is Messi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's the best. He's the goat. He's whatever. So, but you Griezmann, if you want to play with in this team, you must play in another position, more as a center for a striker, more what as a winger. But you cannot play at Messi's position because this is Messi's place. And
It's
where
sacred.
is and where is Messi playing everywhere? So you have to be aware where you play because Messi, and we can see this season. We are watching this season. Messi, he's playing a lot like Xavi as a keeper, as a playmaker, as a quarterback. Hmm?
Yes.
A little more. Even he's doing as he was before. He was starting from the right and then going to the middle and then passing the ball to Jordi Alba and then Alba is crossing and then Messi is arriving. Now he's playing more in the middle, more centered, but the end is always the same. I pass to Alba, Alba is coming back and I score the goal. But he's more a playmaker, which is normal. He's going to be 34. He's not as fast as he was. Even he's still very fast. And he knows, obviously, people say, oh, Messi va caminando. Messi's walking. Come on. You have no idea about football. You have no idea about football. What do you think? Messi running? No, Messi's not running. Messi's for thinking. Messi's for playing football. Messi's for make you playing. You want to run? Okay, take Essien, take Makelele, take Casemiro, take whatever of this. Take Rakitic if you want to run. Don't take
Yes.
Messi. Take Messi for playing football. Take Busquets for playing football. Take these players for playing football. Modric, Kroos. Take these players for playing football. Not for running. Like, come on.
And I think there is a friend here talking about Ter Stegen. I'm not watching. Do you think Ter Stegen has dipped in level this season? That he's having difficulties, or I can't say.
In some aspects, he's still giving. He's not as good as he was previous season. But some people say, "No, he's shit. He's come on, no. He's making a lot of saves and he's making a lot of things." Another, always the big problem with the goalkeepers at Barcelona. If you see the matches, and if you see the one versus one of Ter Stegen, is still the same as previous years. So the problem is not there. The problem is not there. The problem is how the team is playing, which we are giving more chances to the opponents to shot from long distance or to shot from a short distance, but not a 1v1. Even, and I agree, that he's not still as good as we like it as a goalkeeper inside the box. He's 192. He has to be more powerful there. He has to. I'm the boss. I'm the boss here inside the box. Every ball that is come here is mine. No one else. And this is not happening. Okay, you have a defender like Piqué, which is also 192 or 193. Busquets is similar. You have a lot of tall players, so sometimes it's difficult for the goalkeeper to catch these balls when you have these kind of defenders. I know, but it is true that in some aspects, uh, Ter Stegen is not showing the same level as previous year, which, as I said, in some part, I don't think is his fault.
Yeah, I think there is a tendency. I remember really well. First of all, because we reached the 1 hour mark, so me and Jordi will be here for more 20 minutes because me and the wife have to have dinner together. So Jordi understands. But there is a little thing because I want to end this live stream talking about meritocracy and Messi. I think Jordi will agree with me that Luis Enrique mindset of putting that Chilean goalkeeper Claudio Bravo
Yeah,
to compete with Ter Stegen. I think it was one of the most stupid thing that I ever saw because even though I know Claudio Bravo was competent, even I think high level goalkeeper, he literally stopped Messi from winning a Copa America in the last minute
Mhm.
with saving that Aguero header. Um, I think this level of what people demand of a FC Barcelona goalkeeper is really high, you know, because every time we face a few defeats like we did on PSG and now to Real Madrid, the first one, if there is the possibility to do so, is to blame the goalkeeper, you know,
Of
and
course.
during these defeats they become a talking point and they want to destroy them. Just remember how he was crushed by that ridiculous Roma goal from the middle of the pitch, which can happen to any goalkeeper in the world. A shot from that distance reaching the
Absolutely.
post and going in, any goalkeeper on the world would fall for it, would be scored against. So forget it. And second, that Super Cup that we lost, I think was just after the triplete, right? The Super Cup that we lost to Athletic Bilbao with that goal from the middle of the pitch again. As Jordi was trying to say, was saying openly, if the team is set up in the way that will put the goalkeeper in some sort of scenario which will make harder for him to, you know, to play, obviously he will suffer. Because if you watch the play now, I remember in my mind, because I love Ter Stegen, I was campaigning for him to join Barcelona since 2012. He had to make that pass because Atletico Bilbao was pressing really high. We were already not able to make the transition from defense as well as we were making under Guardiola, Cruyff, etc. So he had to make a weird pass. The people who was marking the midfield in Barcelona failed, which happens often, and then they scored in a lucky shot. So you can't, take one action from one player in a system and blame him and say, "Oh, he's shit. We have to sell him," as the people did with Busquets, as with people did with Suarez, pretty much his whole time. Even though 2015, 16, even 17, he was vital for us to win in the league titles. It's the system. And now, because me and Jordi have to wrap it up pretty soon, I put the title, so I have to talk before Jordi came in. I was talking about meritocracy. And these players that we talked about today, Jordi, Griezmann and Messi, I think that especially, I think the overall, history that has happened with Barcelona since Pep left, since Rossell and Bartomeu took over, is that it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter that you are the best player of our time, the biggest goal scorer, the biggest assist giver, the most intelligent person to touch a football in a pitch. If you don't have the structure around you, and I mean the club around you, the management around you, the sporting area, the signings, the coach, the even the teammates, and when I mean the teammates, is not only to make a good signing, is to make a signing with the mentality that will help this structure to happen. For example,
Absolutely.
Neymar mentally has never helped Barcelona because that motherfucker, every single time he got the ball, we were trying to combine and make the pass, he would step on it, do a back dribble, and start the play again. So even though he was brilliant in most time, he's a brilliant player. I'm not saying he's a shit player.
No.
He was never thinking collectively enough to help us. So given all this constellation of stuff that has to happen, what we saw is the corruption that is endemic regarding FC Barcelona, who always gets the worst of Catalan society. They send their representatives there. B. Nunez, who was a literal someone who went to jail. Rossell, who went to jail. Bartomeu, who may go to jail and was to jail. These people, this is the level. These are criminal people, people who don't love this club. They don't understand about football. They will use it to literally rob this club, to make shady deals, and this is their objective. So you literally can be. Jordi is a great coach. I try to be a good lawyer. You can study all day. You may work while they sleep. You can hire a coach to help, a life coach, whatever. If you don't have a structure, a house, a loving community, the mental tranquility, you will not succeed. And watching Messi's career, and this live stream here and me inviting Jordi, I have to be honest with you, I came up with this idea by watching WUVA, which is a YouTube channel that put together the 50 free kick goals that Messi has
Oh,
scored for Barcelona. So as I was watching that timeline, I was watching. We start with the best player of all time at the peak of his powers, doing everything, eating the whole world up, winning 2 Champions League in 3 years, and that Barcelona team and Pep team, and even the end of the Pep era, we were already seeing the intoxication, the effect that when you destroy the bases, the negotiable things that you have good about this club, which is Cruyffism, which is juego de posición, which is trusting in the youth, and developing the youth, and the overall scenario, that Messi remained brilliant for 95% of the time, 97% of the time, and he still became a meme by the destructions that happened against FC Barcelona in Europe. Because that's the thing. Because Messi is so good, Messi is so reliable that you will coast on the league title, to the league title, if you are competent. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to be good. You don't need to be special. If you are physically there, being the coach, Messi will take you 85% to the league title. You have to complete 15%. And the people that Barcelona hired, and the people that, fans on Twitter were, oh no, we have to defend them. Who is saying here? Koeman record against top 4 teams this season, 4 points from 15, and all the points versus Sevilla. And it's true. And this is what I'm talking about. The comment appeared on the right moment. Messi is so huge that when you look at overall in the league, the coach and the environment have to give like 15% for us to win the league. And most of the times they do it. Sometimes it's by far they don't. Now, when you are talking Champions League, by the competition structure, by the people that will face there, and the money and the stakes at higher, you need 40%. You need 35%. You need to give more. And these people haven't been able to give more. So I think I want to hear Jordi's thought about this. I don't want to get really crazy political, because here is for me to rest against the craziness of fascism. But what do you think, my friend, since you work with young kids, about the importance of the environment and the trust? We cannot have someone who is brilliant and think that it's a guarantee of success if you don't have the structures and the means for him to shine. What do you think, my friend?
okay, let's go. You can make an easier question, I think. But anyway, I'm gonna try a little bit to explain these things we're talking about. Koeman as a Dutch manager and young people, and how it should work, as I think it should work. I mean, what do you want an academy, a youth system, either if you don't use them for the first team? That's the first point. The second point is, now you are how old? 30 what?
34. I'm 34. I'm
34.
with this with Messi.
But no, but I mean, some time ago you were 16, 17, 18. I was also long time ago, but I was also 16, 17, 18 years old. So I've done mistakes. You also. I'm 59. I'm still doing mistakes. So how is that possible that a kid that is 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old, and is playing for the first team, whichever, FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Atletico Escalerillas, in the fifth division, doesn't matter. Young people do mistakes in football and in life, always. And then will we always doing mistakes. So what is not possible is a kid is doing mistakes, and then you see Twitter playing, oh, this Ansu Fati shit, this Pedri, whatever, this, and so on. You can put the name whatever you want. Ah, this is not good enough. Okay. For example, Sergio Roberto, which is also going to be 30. Was also born in 92. So, this Sergio Roberto is nothing. This Sergio Roberto, whatever, is okay. Maybe he's not good enough as a starter. Sure, as a backup player coming from the lower ranks of the club, knowing the club, being one of the captains, sure, this player is not interesting for the club and for the team. This is what I mean. I mean, okay, he's not a starter. He's not a star of football. He's not a starter for FC Barcelona. Maybe he can be a starter for Zaragoza, for sure. But probably we need this kind of players at Barca that come from the low ranks, that know the structure of the club, how the club is working, how is all the process. We need these players. We need these players. And so we have to trust the young players. You cannot you cannot throw away the young players because they make a mistake. And this is coming back what you said before about Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper. Let me say one thing. You lose a match 1-0 because the goalkeeper made a mistake. And is blaming the goalkeeper. My question is, why don't you blame the striker that missed 3 goals? Which happens sometimes. Sometimes it happens. Huh? The striker is missing 3 goals, and then you lose 1-0, and you are blaming the goalkeeper. And I think it's not fair. I think it's not fair. So we have to go, and we can go to Bartomeu and Rosé, this bunch of idiots and bad people, because I think they are bad people. They are bad person. They are not fair. They are not reliable. They are not honest. They are not honest. I don't care too much if they are honest with themselves or not. They are not honest with the club, with the supporters, not only with the socios like me, with the supporters all around the world that love the club, that would would do whatever for the club and for the team. And these guys, as you said, they are there to take the money to put it inside their pocket and all these kind of things. So now I've seen the last days in I don't remember which journalist that it seems that the spy Barca, the things they have done, there are a lot of small bills, so they don't have to go to the board and so on. And it seems that the money spent in this spy Barca, which is more than 100 million euros, could be the half. Because when we talk, I'm an engineer. I work in construction and in installations and all. So I know the prices. I'm going to this person and this costs €1, and I'm going to this one and it costs 150. This happens, but what is not possible is that something is cost 109 millions, and probably it should be done by the house. Something is wrong, because if they say, okay, we have paid 109 million euros, and this could be 80 millions. Okay, maybe I found better someone that is giving the materials earlier, somewhat, whatever. And then we can agree that the difference of price can be but half of the price. Mm, mm, mm. Let me think. Let me think, because I don't understand it too.
My
And this
friend,
happened.
and my friend, to the younger folk who think this corruption regarding Spy Barca is something new, I
No, it's
would
not
just
something
like
new.
to remind them
Unfortunately, no, no. It's no, no.
that
It's not new.
Camp Nou and the cement trucks that used to go through the
Exactly.
construction and go
Exactly.
by, and
It,
that it broke our club so much we had to sell the best player in the world back then, Luis Suarez. We sold them to the fastest at Inter, and he won 2
exactly.
Champions League titles, and we stayed 14 years without a title until Jesus Christ, Johan Cruyff himself showed up.
Imagine, I saw my first league when I was 12 years old. I have my nephew who is now right now 19 years old, and he has watched 6 or 7 or 8 leagues and two. No, the Champions League, not at the moment. So my first Champions League when I was 30 years old. imagine, imagine the craziness of this club.
It's crazy because Jordi, tell people your Twitter handle, please. It's at Jordi Pascual.
Myself,
At Jordi Pascual, Timothy asked. So yeah, my friend, I think it's so crazy coming back to the meritocracy thing, as you said about the players, as you said about the structure and the mistakes, because obviously me and Jordi, we are big Barcelona fans. We follow, we read history, we read tactics, we talk we with ourselves, we reach out to people. And even though we are also big Messi fans, we can understand when sometimes he fails. Yeah, we know he is imperfect. He is imperfect. He is, human. We can say that one of the most recognizable mistakes would be the penalty against Chelsea in the semifinal in 2012, something like that. But what we want to, uh, say in the end of this live stream is that without mistakes you cannot learn, without mistakes you cannot evolve,
absolutely.
without mistakes anyone will not become the player that you want them to be, or the player that they actually become, the more rounded up, the player that in the peak of his abilities, because you can't ask Messi like stupid Pelé all the time, say, yeah, Messi can score more official goals than me, but I used to score more header goals. It's not a talking point. You
No,
cannot
exactly.
compare Messi in a playing style that has never needed him to head the ball because he's the one making the pass. He's the one constructing the scenario for the cross to happen and someone to head it in. And this is stupid. Someone who literally helped the military dictatorship here in Brazil to remain in power for 21 years, who is Pelé, to just use this talking point because it's stupid. You cannot compare. And coming back to mistakes, when we are talking about Griezmann and Neymar, as you said, because if Neymar comes or if Haaland comes from Borussia Dortmund, obviously it's going to be really tough to keep Griezmann because there won't be, it will be really difficult to set it up. Um, but I think the main thing about Neymar that I will always, people who have followed me, Jordi is my friend for almost a decade now. He knows how I feel about him. Is that Neymar, even though we have a Messi who is the peak of professionalism, who tries at his best, who gives everything, and still manages to keep a few wins and a Liga titles amidst the chaos that was FC Barcelona, Neymar, even when he is given the best football player in the world alongside him, when he gets the peak Luis Suarez, when he got the FC Barcelona who was working, his mentality, which is the mentality that I am rich and famous, I get to party, I don't need to train as hard, I can travel to Carnaval in Brazil every year and feign injury so I can be there. When my team is winning 3-0 or 4-0, I will do a little fancy dribbling in the end of the match to humiliate my adversaries. He was playing against himself. He was not being the best that he could. And I can say this without a shred of hesitation. Neymar has never achieved his peak by his behavior, by the thing that the
You,
way that his mistakes were whitewashed by the press. Because people here in Brazil, they adore Neymar. Obviously, there are lots of people who are critical of him, but the people who make the money, huh? the TVs who get the broadcast rights and etc., they will always defend him, like they did Fat Ronaldo in the end of the 90s and beginning of the 2000s, like they did a little bit for Ronaldinho Gaúcho, but since he is black and from a favela here in Brazil, he was turned into a bad guy really quickly because racism, yeah, it happens. It's here. I'm from here. Yesterday, they executed 25 black people in the favela, people who were sitting down. That's a reality. So Neymar is defended at the same time that Ronaldinho wasn't. But Ronaldinho in 2004 to 2006, right, Jordi? I think the peak
Yeah, he
Ronaldinho
arrived
there.
2003.
Ronaldinho, he reached it. Physically, mentally, as a
Top,
leadership, he
top,
reached it.
top, top.
Top. You can't. I think Jordi enjoyed way more than I did because I was doing other stuff back then, but it was great. Now, does anyone here think that Neymar achieved the same greatness in Barcelona, in PSG?
No,
I
but
mean, being the main player, soloist, achieving and winning Champions League, and me because going to France, let's be honest, right, Jordi? It's the French league. Who gives a shit about the French league? I mean, look, the best players in the world. Will never be the best player in the world in that horseshit league.
no, but
So
what it happens, I mean, you go to PSG, and because the boss of PSG is putting all the money is needed because he wants to win the Champions League, which is not going to happen again. So, but that is football. Okay, it's not. People says, "Oh, money, 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 money." Oh, and Guardiola has a lot of money. Do you think Guardiola is only money? He's working a lot to be in the final now with Manchester City. So PSG is, for me, the main problem of PSG is they didn't have a good manager, and once they fired him, who was Tuchel, and now you see Tuchel is going to play the Champions League final. So Emery, we all love Emery, of course.
Emery is so good to follow.
So,
All the
absolutely. So
happiness, all the good
yeah,
times.
but that's one of the problems of football. I mean, the owners, call it Sheikh whatever, or call it Lazar, or call it whatever name you call it, you want to call it, the owner, the majority of them, well, 99% of them have no idea about the game, and they think it's like a factory. I mean, no, it's like a factory. You do this, you put this piece on the car, you put this piece on the car, you put this piece on the car. And you do this, you do this, you do this from 7 to 3 or from 8 to 4 or whatever. But football, it's a little bit different. What happens in football? It's supposed that the guy that is a defender, who's playing as a right full back, is going to score the goal, who is winning the championship. For example,
Champions League
and
2006, Bellet.
that's an example. Belletti is the right back, and he's scoring the goal, who is giving us the Champions League. And so this is not possible in the factory,
Yeah.
because in a factory you are putting this screw on the wheel, and then there's another person who is putting the whatever the doors, or and you do this, only this job. In football, this is different. There is 11 guys on the pitch with a lot of relations, fighting against other 11 guys dressing in a different way, which they are trying to avoid you to do something because they want to do something different. In the meantime, we have two other guys somewhere in the back standing up, but outside of the pitch, saying, "You go to the right, you go to the left." And if all this is not enough, there are three guys dressed in black or yellow or whatever color, trying to confuse everyone. So
My
football
friend.
is so different. And so what I mean is, because you lose 3 matches, you cannot fire a manager. whichever club it is. It's not possible. I have a project for 3 years. Let's make up our project. And we have the best manager in the world, Luca Resende. And after 3 matches, you fired because you lost 3 matches. What a project you have? 3 years project, and after 3 matches, you fired? Sorry. Because, and they have this factory mentality. And I changed the general manager of the company because the numbers are not good, the figures are not good. We are not selling enough cars or enough ball pens or enough whatever. So we changed and we put another general manager to sell more ball pens or bottles or whatever you want to sell. Football is different. I'm sorry. Football is working completely different in all aspects. Because I said there is the relations of 11 people. And in the factory, you don't have the relations of these people because I said one is doing one thing and the other one is is doing another thing. And there is another one on the office typing to prepare the bills. And there is another one who is an engineer who is drawing, and the car is going to be like this or the bottle is going to be like that. And this is not, doesn't happen on a football pitch. Yeah, you have an architect or somewhere you want to call it, called the manager, who's saying we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. And then you enter the pitch, and after 5 minutes, your center defender is sent off because the referee was wrong, and you're playing with 10 men for the rest of the match. So you cannot. I mean, this is. Can you think it can happen? Yeah, it can happen. But there are so many things that can happen on the football pitch. As a manager, when I prepare them, I think as a manager, on the blackboard, I have 25 Champions League or something like this. But I never play a final. I never win a final. I never play a Champions League match. But on the blackboard, when I say I prepare, oh, I see this match and I will this. I win all the matches on the blackboard. But then on the beach is completely different. And this is something the owners has to understand sometimes. That
Yeah, my friend.
players
And
more than
to say, please, please.
no, the players is not a number in the factory because you can fall down. Maybe there is a hole on the pitch, and yeah, and you fall down. Maybe it's raining a lot, and even sorry, you're having the right tools for a wet pitch, but you can slide, whatever, whatever. So, well, this is one of the things why football is so amazing.
That was I was going to say because my wife is here, so we are just this is the final the final phrase. But this like this last thought, this last subject that Jordi brought in, I think is the best way to end this live stream because I started talking about Messi. I want to talk about meritocracy. I want to talk about the game tomorrow. And I think tomorrow, there most likely there's really a possibility that we'll see Barcelona win the match. And if we win the match, most likely we will win the league. And to imagine that the way we started the season, with Messi officially asking to leave the club, with the elections, with the arrest of Bartomeu, with the craziness and the Champions League defeat once again, and everything. This sport is so special and is made of human, and it's artistic, and the abilities and everything. All this big pot came us from a really sad, depressive, chaotic season to end as a great season if we win the Liga. Because people who know me, follow me, knows that I hate the Copa del Rey. I think Copa del Rey is not for FC Barcelona. It's for smaller clubs to compete. It's important from this kind of seasons that we had, obviously. It helps to develop the team spirit and everything. But I want to thank Jordi, this great human, my friend for so many years, we always cheer ourselves together. We love to
Muito, muito,
talk.
muito obrigado, irmão.
Muito obrigado, meu irmão. Muitas graças, amic. He's always helps me here, and it's been great. I hope that all of you have a great time watching the match tomorrow. It will be my first match in I don't know how many months. And if we manage to end the season, it will be good. to see the human strength and the human connections that needed to happen. And I think we have the beginning of a structure for next year, maybe with another coach, maybe with better pieces, as Jordi said, to strive for something bigger, which is the Champions League. Messi has to win a Champions League before he leaves. For God's sake, it
At
can't
least
happen.
two. At least
At
two, not
least
one. At
two,
least two.
yes, at least two. So Jordi, thank you so much, my friend. I want to thank you. I know it's late over there. Thank everyone who came
Well,
by.
it's Friday night. If not because of the pandemic and everything is gone, now it's time to go to the clubs and try to get the ladies.
Yeah, so we talk about football. We can do much. So Jordi, say your goodbyes to everyone who followed. Thank you once again for being here with me.
Thank you for the invitation, and thanks to everybody who is watching us. And I hope they have enjoyed a lot with us.
So Visca Barça, may we have a great match tomorrow. Depending how it goes, I may do another stream. Let's see if what happens. But thank everyone for the attention. Bye bye.
Bye bye.